What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 7. This week, Hieroglyphics, Third Eye Vision, 1998. It's their first album as a group. Man, this is a gem right here. Classic material, West Coast. Sick production, sick lyricism. I couldn't ask for anything more from these guys, man. It's as good as it gets. Shout out to Domino on the production. For those who don't know, Hieroglyphics is like a West Coast Wu-Tang clan. They actually have 9 members also. And within that group of 9 is a group of 4, which most of you probably would know, maybe even more than Hieroglyphics, would be Souls of Mischief. You may know their song 93 Till Infinity. This is how we chill from 93 till. And my whole thing is like everybody knows that song, but it's like you don't think they have any other music worth listening to? Like, come on now. They're not one-hit wonders, okay? These guys are straight-up MCs. They're still active. All of them are still active and alive, killing it as solo artists and as a group. This is their first group collective, Third Eye Vision. As you can see, it's got awesome artwork with the pyramids there. Got the classic Hieroglyphics emblem here, which was created by Del, the Funky Homo Sapien. And back to the members. So Souls of Mischief is a group of 4 that's within this group of 9. And that group of 4 includes Tajay, A+, Opio, and Festo. And then the other 5 members would be Casual, Pep Love, Del the Funky Homo Sapien, Domino, who's a producer, and DJ Torre, which I'm not that familiar with, but I'm pretty familiar with the other 8. Domino did the beat that I chose, After Dark, which doesn't really represent the album. It's a very positive, spiritual, smooth album. That's probably the hardest, darkest beat on there. This came out in 1998 on Hieroglyphics Imperium Recordings, which is their own label. Let's get into some of these tracks. The intro is produced by Domino as well. All of them produce also. So it's a dope intro to set the tone for the album. And then it goes to the first track, You Never Knew, which is produced by A+. So A+ is in Souls of Mischief. He's a producer and MC as well. Almost all of them produce, if not all of them. And each track has a different combination of MCs. This one is Del, Pep Love, and the Souls of Mischief combination. Then the next track, All Things. This is produced by Domino as well. This album's great in the car, great production, very smooth. Check out how it drops and comes in. Okay, so stylistically is some of my favorite music ever made. And then lyrically, these guys are super intelligent. They're dropping gems. They're able to flip flows in ways that I haven't really heard anywhere else. And the fact that they're from the West Coast, which is known for majority gangster rap, just shows that they got a lot more going on out there, man. Souls of Mischief, Hieroglyphics is a perfect example of that. Like some Jurassic 5 meets Alcoholics. That's what I just was thinking of today. Hieroglyphics and Souls of Mischief to me is like Alcoholics mixed with Jurassic 5. Like, they get as raw and underground as you want, but yet they're rocking over like live instrumentation and some super soulful instruments, and like they're able to do everything. I also have this album on CD and digitally. This is one of those. I got all 3. If I do start doing cassettes too, I'm gonna get this one. So let's get into the next track, The Who. This is one of my favorites also, produced by Del the Funky Homo Sapien, who's an incredible solo artist, one of the most original artists I've ever heard. Yeah, and they're from Oakland, California too. You know what I'm saying? They're not from Compton. They're repping Oakland. And Del the Funky Homo Sapien, who produced that last track and was featured on it, is actually Ice Cube's cousin. Just a little FYI. A lot of people know that, some don't. But, you know, he's way different than Ice Cube, but he did ghostwrite one or two tracks for Ice Cube on one of his earlier albums. So that's Del is Ice Cube's cousin. So that's pretty dope. Also, The next track I had is At the Helm, produced by Domino as well. You know what you're doing, you know what you're doing for your life, get ruined. Life is a thrill when your skill is developed. If you ain't got a skill or trade, then shut the hell up. That's a Dell solo track on there. Forgot to mention, there's 22 tracks altogether. On the vinyl, there's only 15 tracks because there's 7 solo tracks with 1 verse on them by each of the solo MCs. So 7 of them are MCs. Domino is a producer. DJ Torre is a DJ and producer. The rest are MCs and producers also. But all the MCs have 1 solo track, which is like 50 seconds to a minute. I'm not going to review any of those. But on the CD, there's 22 tracks. On this vinyl, I got 15. I don't know if they printed up vinyl with the solo tracks on it also. But aside from the 1-minute solo tracks, Pep Love and Dell both have solo tracks on here. That was Dell's solo track right there. And then this next track's called The Last One. Also one of my favorites, produced by Casual. Like I said, Casual is one of the dopest MCs I've ever heard. And he's a great producer as well. He's got his own unique style.
Pump up the tracks. Size is just that, but get your bottom dollar better. It's your problem. Mama let it alone. The high priest on the microphone, taking historical lyrical oracles to the dome. My raps is blessed, miraculous. In fact, the impact is just spectacular. Intact with a knack to bust. Need I discuss? My rhymes make your brain freeze like slush. My slurpees, but unpredictable.
Yeah, man, I love Casual. Sick beat. Opio is featured on that one too. And then Oakland Blackouts. This one's produced by Opio, who's in Souls of Mischief. Hell yeah. And that track only features Dell and Opio. And then the next track, Mics of the Round Table, produced by A+ again, featuring Souls of Mischief. None of the other Hyrule members are on this, so this is like a Souls of Mischief track right here. And then into another one of my favorites called See the Light. Like the word delight, but this ain't See the Light or See the Light. Yeah, I love this track. It's produced by Opio again, and features Pep Love and Opio. Yeah, and then the next track that I'm choosing to review is the one I chose to use on Head Nod Music Volume 2, Deadly at Dusk. That video is going to be dropping tomorrow. I used the After Dark instrumental, which is produced by Domino. This track is really hard. This is a Pep Love solo track. Pep Love is my favorite Hieroglyphics member. Fall down. Okay, yeah, I love that track. Check that one out. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I topped Pep Love on that track. I don't think I'll ever say I topped Pep Love, regardless. I mean, I seen him live too. I saw Hieroglyphics live with my homie Ross. Invited me. Ross shot a couple videos for me. If you're familiar with my work, he did the Spineless video, the Me and You video with Zoo. He did Substance Abuse, the Teddy Ruxpin track, and I feel like I'm missing one. He maybe did another one too. But we got some other stuff we're working on too. But he invited me to the show. He was in the city. I went and saw them for the first time, and Pep Love stood out to me, man. He really stood out to me. He is my favorite MC at Hieroglyphics. But this next track's called No Nuts. This is produced by Domino again. And honestly, if I could have found this instrumental, I may have used this for Head Nod Music Volume 2, but I couldn't find it, so I used the After Dark instrumental. But this would have been my other top choice. Oh, man. featuring Del and Pep Love.
I'd rather let it just crank when niggas be on the dick like a dip throw. I murder them like hurdling obstacles and cause holocaust. All I got is word and balls. I'm hot pepper that you don't wanna taste to see. So just watch me lace the beat gracefully. It ain't a nigga got a thing to say. My broken language slay niggas that came this way aimlessly. My automatic spray wreak havoc and make him. If you got something to say, come to the bay and
Get it off your chest.
then put it to rest. Another competitor bested. Better than
Just shut the hell up.
develop your skill and get enveloped still. When my nigga develop to back turn yellow belly and lily liver, we deliver the Russian roulette. You never know, it might get you lit. I'll make an issue out of that bitch. You
Wanna diss who?
the invincible. I wrote
Man, I love that shit. Especially that verse by Pep Love right there. Woo. And then, all right, so I only got 2 tracks left here. One Life, One Love. This produced by DJ Torre. Only track he produced on this album. Featuring Casual, Del, Pep Love, and Tajay. It's imperative.
Intricate, so simple. Life is the spirit and the body is the temple. One life, one love. All they seen was one hand bust through the white sand, illuminating
Casual.
with liberation. A mysterious, seriously serious black man.
Okay, man, like, come on. A lot of you probably aren't familiar with this, and you're not going to check it out, but you should. Okay? Miles to the Sun. This is the next track. Last track on the album, produced by J-Biz. J-Biz produced Pep Love's first album called The Shaman, which I can't find anywhere. Actually, if anybody knows, did they print physical copies for Pep Love's first album, The Shaman, produced by J-Biz? Because I can't find it on CD or on vinyl anywhere. I can't even find existence that it even was made. So I'm just curious, because I want that in my collection, and I can't find it. But he produced this track, J-Biz. I'm not that familiar with him besides that first album, Pep Love. It's called Miles to the Sun, last track on the album. You know what I'm saying? Very spiritual, uplifting, smooth.
I don't know what you've been told, but when we ripping the mic, taking total control, just eat, pay attention, read the inscription. Our definition is the shit. When we rock, we got 93 million, 5,000 flows, and here's one more. Yeah.
Okay? So you can tell, man, this is a beautiful piece of work right here. It's not what you typically think of with hip-hop in general. I was going to say West Coast hip-hop, but just in hip-hop in general, man. And I remember back in the day, shout out to my English teacher. I was in AP English because my dad's a guidance counselor, put me in all these AP classes. And I asked him, because he was into hip-hop and he knew I rapped and was really into it. And I said, who are some of the best lyricists? And he said Hieroglyphics. And at the time, I wish I delved into it, but I didn't. Which some of you probably going to do when you first hear this. But you should delve into this. But if you're not ready for it, that's okay. But don't forget about them. Later in life, when you're more mature, you start bumping this when you stop trying to be a tough guy. Because hip-hop's not about being a tough guy, okay? There's certain beats that call for that, don't get me wrong. You know, who we listen to? I'm SC Static, I got those tracks, no doubt. But this kind of music is very important. And on days like this in the summer, man, I want to bump this during the day, not Mobb Deep. At night, I'll bump Mobb Deep, but I'll bump this during the day when it's sunny out, man. Check this out, Third Eye Vision, Hieroglyphics. Their second album, Full Circle, is also highly recommended. The beats and the rhymes in here are sick also. I would say this is my favorite by them as a group. And then also Souls of Mischief, 93 Till Infinity. A lot of you probably are familiar with that title track, but check out the rest of the tracks on there. And their second album, No Man's Land, really dope also. Much rawer and underground than the first one. They probably had like more success with that one than they were intending to or realized. So they wanted to remind you, like, no, we're straight up MCs, you know what I mean? We're not trying to make hit records here. And then Pep Love, I'm just going to shout out here last because he did the solo track for the After Dark instrumental on the Third Eye Vision album. But this is his one of his solo albums, Ascension. Amazing. Came out in 2001, I believe. Yeah. On the Hyro Imperium recordings also. And then Rigmarole. Amazing Pep Love album also. Pep Love is my favorite out of the group. Domino, incredible production on here. Same way A+, OPO, Casual. Del, the Funky Homo Sapien. Check out Del, the Funky Homo Sapien. I have a bunch of his stuff. We'll get into him on another episode because I have one more Hieroglyphics beat I used on Head Nod Music Volume 2. and it's a casual off his first solo album, Fear Itself. I used the beat off there, which is produced by Domino also. That one's straight up funky, one of my favorite tracks. And yeah, thanks for listening. Check out Hieroglyphics, man. 9 members here, so 7 MCs, and they all have solo careers, and they all produce, and they all spit. And Domino is an incredible producer. DJ Torre, this album, I'm gonna give this a 10. I listened to it with my roommate a couple days ago. It's a 10. Like, this is amazing. This is incredible, in my opinion. And then this track right here, this album, There Is Only Now, this is produced by Adrian Young. Adrian Young did Ghostface Killah's 12 Reasons to Die, Part 1 and 2. And Adrian Young also is who DJ Premier sampled with Royce da 5'9" for their first Prime album. Is all sampled from Adrian Young instrumentation. All those beats are taken from Adrian Young music and DJ Premier sampled. So all that first Prime album is pretty much like co-produced by Adrian Young in a way. So check out those two. These are both Souls of Mischief projects, which is 4 members from Hieroglyphics. And then Hieroglyphics is all 9 of them together. And then they all have solo work to check out too. Until next time, the homage continues. Be on the lookout for the Deadly at Dusk video dropping tomorrow. I'm coming every week with a new video, if you haven't noticed. Doing a new album review every week. Thank you for tuning in. And also, I was filming with this thing on top of my camera lens. So you guys were watching me like this. And it looks so blurry. All the other videos look really crappy. It's because you were looking at it through that. So I took that off. You can see me clearer now. And until next time, the homage continues. Episode 7, Hieroglyphics. Peace.